Monday, 26th of May. Monday, 26th of May. I'm going to read aloud Atomic Habits. The reason why I'm doing this is to see my progress. I want to see my progress. I want to articulate words clearer. I want to project my voice. I want to use pitch, high pitch, low volume, high volume. I want to be able to master storytelling. So, I'm going to record myself once every few weeks so I can see my progress. Now I'm reading page 34, Atomic Habits. Your behaviors are usually a reflection of your identity. What you do is an indication of the type of person you believe that you are, either consciously or non-consciously. Research has shown that once a person believes in a particular aspect of their identity, they are more likely to act in alignment with that belief. For example, persons who identify as being a voter were more likely to vote than those who simply claimed voting was an action they wanted to perform. Similarly, the person who incorporates exercise into their identity doesn't have to convince themselves to train. Doing the right thing is easy. After all, when your behavior of your identity are fully aligned, you are no longer pursuing behavior change. You are simply acting like the type of person you already believe yourself to be. Like all aspects of habit formation, this too is a double-edged sword. When working for you, identity can be a powerful force of self-improvement. When working against you, though, identity change can be a curse. Once you adopt an identity, it can be easy to let your alliance to it impact your ability to change. Once you have adopted an identity, it can be easy to let your alliance, your allegiance to it, impact your ability to change. Many people walk through life in a cognitive slumber, blindly following the norms attached to their identity. I'm terrible with directions. I'm not a morning person. I'm bad at remembering people's names. I'm always late. I'm not good with technology. I'm horrible at maths. Interesting point, this. I'm not any of these, but I used to think I was not a morning person until I decided to be a morning person. Now I get up between 5 to 6:30 every day. I'm a morning person. And 1,000 other variations. When you have repeated a story to yourself for years, it is easy to slide into these mental grooves and accept them as a fact. In times, you begin to resist certain actions because that's not who I am. That's not who I am. There is internal pressure to maintain your self-image, to behave in a way that is consistent with your beliefs. You find whatever way you can to avoid contradicting yourself. The more deeply a thought or action is tied to your identity, the more difficult it is to change it. It can feel comfortable to believe what your culture believes, group identity, or to do what upholds your self-image, personal identity, even if it's wrong. The biggest barrier to positive change at any level, individual, team, society, is identity conflict. Good habits can make rational sense, but if they conflict with your identity, you will fail to put them into action. On any given day, you may struggle with your habits because you're too busy, or too tired, or too overwhelmed, or 100 of other reasons. Over the long run, however, the real reason you fail to stick with habits is that your self-image gets in the way. This is why you can't get too attached to one version of your identity. Progress requires unlearning. Becoming the best version of yourself requires you continuously edit your beliefs and to upgrade and expand your identity. This brings us to an important question. If your beliefs are worldview play. So let's pause that right here. That's a good point. I just slur all my life, at least in English. I don't slur Japanese. Or do I? Maybe no, I don't mumble Japanese. Because the language is clearer. It's all spelled out. This is interesting. This is an interesting self-discovery. This brings us to an important question. If your beliefs and worldview play such an important role in your behavior, where do they come from in the first place? How exactly is your identity formed? And how can you emphasize new aspects of your identity that serve you and gradually erase the pieces that hinder you? Good point. The two-step process for changing your identity. We've got 5 pages to go. This two-step process to changing your identity. Your identity emerges out of your habits. You are not born with preset beliefs. Early beliefs, including those about yourself, is learnt. Okay, that's enough. That's enough of recording.